The Stm32 Cube IDE, which is Integrated Development Environment, comprises of compiler, debugger, and Stm32 Cube programmer. The Stm32 Cube programmer also consists Stm32 Cube MX, which is a graphical tool, which we already saw in last chapter 2, where we were making LED blink project. The Stm32 Cube IDE, which I'm using for this tutorial, is with the version 1.13.1. I'm using Ventura 13.5 Macintosh for this tutorial. However, I have also tested all my codes on the Windows 11 with the same Stm32 Cube IDE version. So now we will go through the Stm32 Cube IDE. Hopefully remember we have created these two projects in last tutorials. F4_hello world. If we open it, we can go through each of the folders and we'll open main.c file. So if we see is the same one where we left it last time. Now to create a new project, we can go to the file new Stm32 project, Stm32 CMake project, or we can create any folders inside the project. We can make a new .c file or .h file, and we can also make a new C class, but this class is related to the C++, so we won't be covering this one in this lecture. And if we want to close the project, we can simply come over here and we can clean it, or we can close the project. So if you see, I cannot actually close the project over here because I have not highlighted the project. So here I have to go and highlight the project, and now either I can close from here by right click, close project, or I can go from here and I can close the project from here. Now for example, if I want to close this F4 LED blink one, I can simply go over here and I will close the project. Now the project is closed. Now we have only one project open, which is Hello World. So another interesting part over here is the refactor. So I'll show you what does the refactor mean. It's basically the renaming of the variable or the function, but at the same time renaming everything else. So now if you see, I have renamed it to X, and whenever I rename this ITM part to X, all the places where ITM was defined is replaced by this word X. So originally, or if you remember from the last tutorial, here we had ITM. So if I do that, it's only changed over here. But if I want to do it with a refactor, now you saw if I rename this variable, it's changed everywhere in the file. After refactor, I will tell you one more interesting information. For example, if I go to the printf command, it's defined over here. Now if I want to go back to main.c, I can click over here and then I will remember where I was working last time. So I clicked from here. Oh, another simple step is to click on this button. It will take me back from where I came. So I came from printf, I clicked from printf. So this is very handy when we are dealing with bigger projects. Now to search for any function or variable inside the project. For this, we will be going to the search option and we will be looking for the ITM_send_car inside the project. Search. Then it will show me over here the information that it's defined in main.c at line number 67 and at line number 87. So for seeing in other projects, I have to open the other project by double clicking on it. Now if I go to search again, and if I search the same variable, now it will show me in F4 Hello World project and it will show me in LED Blink project. So if I go in LED Blink, it will show me wherever ITM_send_car has been used or been defined. So we can see it has been defined in CM3, CM4, CM7. These are the files for Cortex M3, M4 and M7, and these are provided under the KIMSYS folder. So now back to toolbar. We have seen what the search do. Now we can go for the project. As I have already explained, we can open a project and close the project, but there are more options. For example, we can clean a project, or if we have multiple projects, we can click on build all. So it will be building all the projects which are open. So now if I go to run option, I can see there is a run button, there is a debug button. We already know what the debug do. but now we will see for the run. So basically run will also run the same program, but it won't be giving us the information for debug. Generally the debug files are bigger than the run files. So now we are in the window option. Here we can see that we have many windows. So for example, outline build targets, build analyzer, static stack analyzer, and search options. So whenever you want to open any of the windows in STM32 Cube IDE, simply you have to go in these options and you can click over here. Then we have a help option through which we can actually upgrade our ST link, or we can update our software, check for updates, or we can read about more help contents. Then we have last option, which is your online account, which is now coming with 1.13 versions of STM32 Cube IDE. So you have to create an account and you have to log into it. On the left hand side we can see there's a project explorer. All the projects which have been in your workspace will be shown over here. So basically whenever you will start with STM32 Cube IDE, you will be asked to choose a directory as your workspace. So if you want to change this workspace, you have an option switch workspace. So for example, I have used this location as my workspace. So all my projects, whatever I will be creating, will be saved into workspace. Then we have this editor window where whichever file you will be double clicking will be opened over here and you can edit them. Then on the right hand side you can see the outlines of your main.c file. In the bottom you can see we have some windows such as problem, task, console. This console window is whenever you will be building, will be giving you the information about your errors and warnings. For example, there are 0 errors and 0 warnings. So it will also be telling you information about your binary file. If accidentally you close one of the windows or it's not appearing for you, so either you can go to the windows and you can go to the show view, and then you can find your individual window whichever you want. For example, I have closed the console, so I can click over here and it will appear again. So if you have accidentally changed your layout, for example, I'm moving this window to the right and another window to the bottom. Now if you want to reset the layout back to the default, we can go to the windows under perspective, reset perspective, and if we click yes, it will reset the layout back to the default. So that was it. In this tutorial you have learned how to play with STM32 Cube IDE. In next chapter we will be going across debug session. Thank you.